why don't we just start with an introduction?
Sure. My name is Ken Pedersen. I'm CEO of Zenylitics. We work directly with companies in a variety of industries. In a few industries, like pharma, we work with partners to combine forces to best serve the market. So I think that's an important part of the strategy these days as AI penetrates more and more, getting the last mile, if you will, that last 5 or 10% is really important to have expert eyes on behalf of its clients to really figure out where the value might be.
That's interesting. A question that we are often confronted with as we work with clients is, AI has come out with a lot of promises, and sometimes those promises are kept, and sometimes those promises are not realized. What maybe are some areas where you feel like AI's promises have been kept, and then maybe where a few promises haven't been kept?
Sure. It's interesting you mention it because way back when I was a thought leader in expert systems, I wrote a book for John Wiley and Son on expert systems. The verbiage and the hype was, somewhat similar. It was, you're going to have a piece of software, you're going to buy the software and install it, and then all of a sudden everything is going to be fine and good, and you're going to have all these amazing benefits of AI. And that really hasn't been the case then, and it's still not. With artificial intelligence in a contact center setting is an amazing tool to, number one, process all your interactions instead of just sampling, and number two, separating the wheat from the chaff. What's worth looking at? What's worth bringing some attention to? And beyond that, now you do need that experienced human eye. And in your case, in the pharma business, the reason we partner with companies like yourself is the stakes are high, right? The domain knowledge is highly technical, and the stakes are especially high. So, when we were working with your team, we're able to help you be highly productive to bring that trained eye on just the interactions that really matter, which of course has all kinds of benefits for the customer in terms of efficiency and the quality of the feedback that they're getting.
What do you see as coming next for us?
I think where the biggest advances in the next couple of years are really in the customer understanding on how to deploy the tool. So, for example, in a healthcare context, healthcare contact centers are a little broader than just pharma, but the pharma skills and is such a solid base from which to expand. And we see the emerging market realization that it's really about the holistic patient experience. And to be successful in healthcare as a provider, you need to realize that's a critical success factor. So what's that mean? First of all, compliance, yes, still important. You need to but that's just one dimension. A second dimension is tuning the touch points so that you're giving a consistent and high quality experience to the customer. The modern customer wants multiple touch points and wants a relatively high experience. And to those who can provide it these days in healthcare, you're exceeding expectations and you have a much better chance of being successful. And AI can really help with that. Why? Because you can measure the customer sentiment. You can measure the agent's skills in showing empathy at appropriate times or taking ownership of a problem. So it's that anticipating of the needs of what the customer might want. And another developmental area, and this is a little controversial, but it seems to be the trend, is let's think of it as the business development angle, which is when you're talking to your customer, what is your messaging about your organization? How accurately are you setting appointments? Are you listening for a service that that might be relevant to that customer that they should know about? This is a little bit aspirational, but you're asking about the next year or two. And this is an area where a lot of healthcare organizations realize this is the point of contact with the customer, and this is an important dimension as well as the ones that are traditionally been more focused on.
Thank you. The last question here, Ken, is you could have had a number of different partners in the AI space. Why did you choose CallMiner, and what's been your experience in working with CallMiner?
Well, CallMiner is one of the leaders in the field and has been for a number of years. So they have the seasoning and the experience of having been around a long time. From our point of view as a tool, it's highly configurable, highly flexible, and highly programmable. And we have access to an API. So from a toolkit point of view, it just gives us so much to work with so that we can customize it for the customer's needs. So every customer has a common core of capabilities they want, but then they also have things that are unique to their own business. So CallMiner gives us the abilities to effectively configure the tool so that it's really tuned for a given customer's business.